Good morning and welcome. It's Saturday the 15th of October. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, welcome to Ascot Champions Day. It's always a brilliant way to sort of end the flat season. It's partly ends the flat season. It ekes out a little bit. The November handicapper is in November is when some people would say it ends, but to a certain degree, this is where it ends. So I think for Jockey's Championship, it ends technically this weekend, even though it's already decided. The Trainers' Championship goes on to the calendar year. It's all confusing. Anyway, it's a good meeting. It's a brilliant introduction when they first put it in, and I've got stuff on all 6 races at the Ascot card today. So it is 7 bets. It's a £40 day, so we are double staking, and the first race selection is the 10 past 1 Newton Abbot. 7 bets, 10 past 1 Newton Abbot, £40. That's the key information. So I should be going through that stuff shortly. Before I do, I will whiz through yesterday's bets because it's a busy day. I'm conscious people want to get on. So what did we do yesterday? It was one of them ones where we made profit for the channel. I know some would have done slightly better than the channel. Some will have not quite made profit. So it sort of will vary around. And overall, I'm happy that I've got profit for some and the channel. But the strike rate yesterday, so we had 11 horses run because it was non-runner. 7 made the frame for if you're a Sky Bet customer, 5 elsewhere. And yeah, overall, it's one of them ones where it could well have been a lot better than it was. So I'm not going to complain, but we're up for the week slightly now. So £20 on 41.97 is what I got it as back. So we started off here. I mean, that's annoying. It wasn't anywhere near the front 2, so that was a disappointing start. Then Grey Bell collared 5th, which I think most bookies paid out unless you were probably in some shops, but online they did. Then Rick Blaine also went and placed, but then Contrast ran a rubbish race, despite being backed in. So it was a place double, but not on the one where we had the additional double on bet 1. So we got a bit back there. So it was 2 out of 4. The Newcastle one is the one that paid out well, particularly if you were Sky Bet. But there were some funny things with prices, and I will have a mention on that for this bet. So the 4.45 free count, 15-2. I knew it wasn't the best price, but then at some point mid-morning, I think it went out to 22-1, and I know some got on at 22-1, and then it was right back in. It won at 11-1. Sandra, that drifted and then was a non-runner. Mr. Cocoa Bean, that drifted up. You get 14-16s, I think, in places at one point mid-morning. And then that went right back down again and placed. And then Hurt You Never again went up and went down. So it ended up for the bet, or for the channel, it being a win, a 1 winner, 1 place, 1 non-runner. Oh, sorry, no, that's not true. Because Hurt You Never, it collared 4th. That was right. I forgot that bit. So that's why it was a good bet, but only paid out for Sky. So if you weren't Sky, you got a win, a place, the non-runner. If you were Sky, you got a win and 2 places. But I know some of you then replaced the non-runner with something, and some of you seem to have some pretty decent luck with that. So fair play. So there was quite a few people who managed to get the full four horse bet with the 50p each way fourfold. So very well done if you put a nice sub in for that one. The 2 things I was gonna say is, one, on that Hurt You Never. I mean, Alan said the same as me on the comments. If you watch that race, that did not look like it finished 4th at all. I'm not sure quite how the stewards worked that out. But if I was the horse that finished 5th and that was the difference between winning or not, I would be absolutely spitting feathers. Because I thought that horse got collared. It looked like the jockey didn't ride it through to the line. And it looked to me like it got snagged and it was 5th. But they called it as 4th. So we'll take it when the luck goes our way on that one. What happens here when these horses drift out? So people start out in betting, they kind of get this. I'll put this down a second. They get this they understand that if a horse shortens up, that means other people like it. Therefore, it's confirming to them that it's a good horse. If it drifts, it's telling them that no one else likes it, and therefore it's a bad horse. That is too crude a way of looking at it. So I'm going to give it a slightly more fuller way of looking at it. But again, it's way more complicated than this. broadly speaking, if when the market's open the day before, which is normally about 5-6 o'clock, if money suddenly goes on to horses there and they reduce in price, it doesn't take much at that time of day. But the night before, if those horses come in with odds, that means that probably decent punters are looking at that thinking the markets have got it a little bit wrong, I'm going to take advantage. So when there's early money the night before, that is a sign that people think the market's got it wrong. Then through the middle of the day, on the actual day of the race, that tends to be a lot more kind of regular casual punters having bets. So if horses come in, it's because they like certain things. And sometimes that might be like jockeys, or they've read a review somewhere, or another tipster's put it up somewhere. That kind of stuff comes to play. And then certain horses tend to get left alone a little bit in the market. So if they're not sort of flagged anywhere, if they come from smaller stables, they've got a jockey that someone doesn't like, they tend to get left alone. And so you find horses in the day sometimes drifting. Then the key thing is near to the off, within say 30 minutes, sometimes even shorter than that, if they then start moving back down again, that's because people with decent money are then going, that horse has drifted too much, that's now a good price, we'll back it back down again. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you're on the insiderness of a horse, genuinely, you'll either bet it really early or really late. You don't tend to just bet it in the middle of the day in volume. So it's really early or really late. So, if you like your horse and you want to do some sort of like betting scam, you're not really going to tell anybody. You're going to wait until about 2 minutes before the off and then lump all your money on. So you try and get the best price and that way. So hopefully that makes sense. But daytime drifters, I do not worry about them. Very occasionally there might be a certain set of circumstances where it might not be a good thing. But yeah, you've seen it so many times on this channel. Drifters aren't always the worst thing you think they are. I like drifters, so I was perfectly happy with all of those horses drifting at Newcastle, and the bet turned out all right. And then last bet we had was this one. So no good, place fourth, no good, and place fourth, but only for Sky bets. So Sky got place double, which wasn't loads, a couple of quid. Anyone else placed single, although some did mention about they put a bet on with Betfair and they didn't pay out fourth place on that one, which a bit tight, I would say, a bit tight. Betfair are definitely a little bit tighter at the moment on place terms, generally speaking. Occasionally do a race where it's a bit different, but they are a little bit tighter. I would generally avoid them for kind of each way accumulator type bets, because they don't pay bog on accumulators and they can tend to be a bit tighter with places. They're okay for like single bets and some of the side market stuff, but yeah. Right, today's bets. So as I said, 7 bets starting at the 1:10 at Newton Abbot, £40. What have I got? I've got 5 lucky 15s, a Yankee, and a combination bet. So I've tried to keep it simple enough because there's a bit of volume. So starting off here, so this is the first and the last bet technically, because I've got the earliest horse and the 3 late horses together. So I was looking at, can I do a little bit of an evening saver bet, and I found something in the last 3 races at Wolverhampton that I think were worth a go. But then, I didn't want to kind of get mixed up with kind of Ascot and Leopardstown and Catterick where the best races are today. So there's a fairly obvious race, first race, Newton Abbot, 1:10, where there's the market structure is one to have a go with. These have all been nibbled in a little bit, which is a bit of a shame because it was a much more valuable bet kind of last night, really, but still just about worth a go. So 1:10 Newton Abbot, American Sniper 7s, and then we're going off to Wolverhampton for the 7:30 Desert Emperor 15-2, 8 o'clock into the Spotlight, and 8:30 Wolverhampton Bird for Life. I've done this as a Yankee, so it's a 20p each way Yankee, so I'm not bothering with singles on those prices. So it's an each way Yankee, says each way doubles, trebles and accumulator. And then to round it up to £5, I put a 30p each way treble on the evening 3. So just that there's some sort of level of interest still going. It's not worth a huge amount, but unless obviously you have 3 winners, which is very hard to do at Wolverhampton. So it's just a little bit of something of an interest. If the day has gone a bit awry, we've got something going on the evening, albeit it's not a lot of money. So that is our £5 bet 1. I should say Sky Best because there's one race they're paying 4 on, 2 places they're paying 4 on, but there are 2 of these, legs 1 and legs 3, are standard terms, so you will get bog with Sky. It's only the Wolverhampton races where one of them they are paying an extra place than 365, but 365 have got better prices, particularly on that horse. So on balance, there's not much between Sky and 365, I would say, for this bet. So that is bet 1. Then bet 2. So going to go to Ascot bets. 2 lucky 15s for Ascot. What I would say for Ascot, a big watch out is, with the exception of one race, a lot of the other big bookies are the same as Sky for place terms. So 365 Paddy, you're going to get bog with them, and they are the same place terms. So at Ascot today, barring one race where there's an extra place, it's Sky is not the best bookie to be on for Ascot. 365 would trump out, as will Paddy. So my first of my 2 lucky 15s at Ascot. 125 Quickthorn. We've had it before when it won. We're giving it a go again. I think it's got written off because of how it ran at Longchamp last time. I just think the ground was way too heavy for it. So I think it would put up a better performance. Then a 2 o'clock Run to Freedom. We've taken it twice before. It obliged last time. It was 40 to 1. It was 4th. We took it at Ascot and it ran a decent enough race at 100 to 1. And I just think it doesn't have to step up that much, and a couple of the others not to run too form, which does happen at Ascot in the Champions Day meeting. It's 200s last time I looked on 365. So yeah, I didn't want to leave it out at the price on that one. So yeah, if you wanted to put it on with 365, you'll get 200 to 1. But 100s is what I've got for Sky. Then the 320 Check and Challenge 18s and the 440 Casanova. I don't think McGuinness has sent that horse over for fun, and we've backed it a few times this year, and I think that looks handicapped to do much better than that price suggests. So 20p each way, lucky 15. This is the most valuable one for the day, I think. Visory 365 is best, Paddy next best, Sky next best on that one. Then the second lucky 15 at Ascot. I'm slightly advising Sky because it's the 240 where they're paying 5th, and no one else is. The other bookies are paying 4. William Hill have got some nice individual place terms on some of these races, but I'm not flagging them because I don't play bog on accumulator bets. But what you will have on some of these Ascot races for for Sky is you will get so like for instance the 4 o'clock, you will get bog on that. So we've got 2 o'clock at Ascot paying 5, Naval Crown 14s, 240 Ascot paying 5 on Sky, Lilac Road 14s. Then each way horse definitely in that Boyd race for me is Do By Honour at the prices. Do I think it's going to beat Boyd? Very, very unlikely. But from a price point of view, that's the value horse in that race for me, definitely. 33 to 1. And then 440 Perotto, 18 to 1 in that one. 20p each way, lucky 15. That is bet 3. Bet 4 is my Leopardstown, lucky 15, Sky Advisory, and then 365 Paddy Coral, all about the same. But for the 2 main handicaps at Leopardstown, Sky are 6 on both of them, whereas the others are 5. And the middle 2 legs here are standard terms. Or are they? Or no, Lyrical Poetry's actually got some extra places on it as well. So yeah, Sky is best. The others are all sort of together. 310 Miss Molly T 18s. That's been backed in a bit, but I'm still good with the price. 420 Lyrical Poetry 6s and 455 Zanika 7s. They're not the best prices, but I'm okay with it in the bet. Wouldn't be looking at money on singles on those 2. 530 Laylaps, which you've taken before, 25s. It's a 20p each way, lucky 15. That's bet 4. That's our Leopardstown lucky 15. And then we've got the mixed meeting lower stake lucky 15. So 310 Leopardstown Hector Berlioz 40s, 315 Catterick Ventura Flame 50s, 440 Ascot Orban 12s, and 530 Leopardstown Dancilla 28s. 15p each way, lucky 15. So it's a smaller stake one, 15p. It's a £4.50 bet. Sky are best. 365 and Paddy are your next best for bet 5. Then we've got bet 6, which is the combination bet. So I'm going with the 3 best handicaps to do a nice little combination bet. That definitely lends itself Sky are 6 on all of these. The major bookies are generally 6 on the Ascot race and 5 on the Leopardstowns. So 3:10 Leopardstown, Miss Molly T and Hector Berlioz. 4:40 Ascot, Perotto Casanova. 5:30 Leopardstown, Laylaps and Dancilla. So like we've done before on this, I don't think we've done one like this week. So all combinations of doubles and trebles on these because the prices are good. So it's 12 times 15p each way doubles, 8 times 15p each way trebles. You put all 6 in your bet slip and it will automatically tell you there's 12 doubles and 8 trebles. You don't need to put loads of individual bets on. Put all 6 in your bet slip online and it will automatically calculate it. 15p's, £6. It's the same stake amount as our Lucky 15s by doing it this way. So that is bet 6. And then finishing off with the Catterick Lucky 15. So we've got 2:45 Catterick Jill Rose 25 to 1, 3:15 Motagali 20s, which we've taken before, 3:50 Hijacked 16s, 4:25 Collinton, which we have taken this season too, and it's won 17 to 2. 20p each way Lucky 15, and then the additional double, it's the only additional one I put in on Motagali and Hijack to the 2 middle legs there, 25p each way double. Sky best, then 365 Coral or Paddy on next best, but Sky are better on places for Catterick because they're paying 5 on quite a few of the handicaps. 6.50 a bet, that takes it up to £40. That is where we're leaving it for the day. So that's what we've got. So tomorrow, the UK racing looks poor in terms of each way value. The Irish racing's probably worth a go. So I am imagining it's going to be a £10 to £15 kind of a day on Sunday. So much quieter. So we're definitely peaking on Saturday. So for our £40 stake, and then much lower tomorrow. And I'll kind of have a bit of a fair idea tonight. But it won't be a full stake tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. All right, enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully you can get all those bets on. Any questions as usual, put it in the comments. Overall, we're doing very well on the channel. And I know people get excited when it's the big meetings, and I've clearly not shied away from big prices today. But you also know, if you've been watching a long time, we have bad days. It's not like, every time there's a decent quality meeting, it goes well. It can go very bad too. But the point is, the loss is limited to £40. The win is not limited to anything other than, hundreds of thousands if those won. But clearly that's a bit of a stretch. So it's sticking with the programme. If it starts going wrong, let it go wrong and accept that today's not our day. If you've been following at least 2 weeks, last week we had a cracker of a week, so you should be well up even for just 2 weeks. But everyone who's following long term should be up for the channel. So all profit and loss is in the description. Every day I update it. It's all there for the full duration of the channel's existence. Profit and loss is in there. So check that out. All right. I'm leaving it there. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you very much. Cheerio.